Hi, this is DJ James, musicmoose.org. For those of you who have taken a look at my bio, you know that I'm also a musicologist and I've gone through some classical training. And what I want this lesson to do is kind of dip into that classical music training to explain the three forms of minor. What the three forms of minor will do is enrich your ability to really kind of improvise over a minor chord, to use minor chords, and especially if you're into composition, it'll give you some new tools, some new tricks, some new ideas when you're approaching composing for minor chords, but more specifically composing for minor melodies. There are three basic forms of the minor scale. The first is known as the natural minor, which we could also think of as the Aeolian mode. I'll play it in A minor for you. And the natural minor would essentially be just the notes without accidentals, starting from A. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. That's our natural minor. Our second form of minor is harmonic minor. Now, the interesting thing about harmonic minor is we essentially use it only to create a dominant chord for minor keys. And where the harmonic minor comes in, the only thing we really do is we sharpen that seventh. Or, excuse me, that would be right here. Now that harmonic minor sounds kind of hip because we toss in an augmented second between that F and the G sharp. The entire purpose, again, of the harmonic minor scale means that when we get to that fifth, when we get to the chord based on the fifth degree, our dominant, we now have a G sharp so that we can create something that gives us a leading tone, some sort of pull back to the A minor. Now, the important things to know about natural minor and harmonic minor is that the scales exist the same, both ascending and descending. They don't change. Or, and as we descend through both, and now the third form of minor, which is known as the melodic minor, is the one that's different. The melodic minor will raise both the sixth and the seventh degrees, so it'll have a little bit in common with the harmonic minor. But the difference with natural minor is it changes when it descends. It's the same as natural minor when it descends. So if I want to play through that scale again, that would be the natural, which is the same descending. Now if we play through melodic, it changes when we descend. Now this is something that is really kind of unfamiliar to a lot of us who deal with Western music theory. The idea that a scale changes when it ascends and descends. Generally, we think of a scale as something that's defined completely by its pitch content. It has no bearing on direction, it has no bearing on melody. It's just a collection of pitches. But in this case, what we essentially have happening there is a scale that changes, and this owes a lot and is similar to a lot of non-Western music theories, Indian Rag, for instance, or Arabic Maqam, which are music systems where scales and modes exist not only as collections of pitches, but also as things that dictate the way that you can play them. As you ascend, certain pitches are available. As you descend, certain pitches aren't available. And that's essentially what's happening with melodic minor. Melodic minor exists because as you ascend, what it does is it gives you a sense of closure at the end of that ascension. There's a pull from that raised sixth and seventh. But you don't need that pull as you ascend. As a matter of fact, you don't want it. You want it to fall back freely. And because of the tendencies of those pitches, the difference between them ascending and descending becomes something that's incredibly important. So let's just play around with those scales a little bit. And we'll just kind of vamp in A minor. So far, that's been only a natural minor. Let's play with harmonic a little bit. Now, where things get really interesting is to throw in that melodic minor. And I'll try to remember to change as I'm ascending and descending. So you can notice that melodic minor, we have the difference between, and hopefully I remember to do it most of the time I hit it. It sounds cool when you do remember to do that. And those are our three different forms of minor.